Hello, everyone. This is physical fitness, and our topic today, or specific topic that we're going to discuss sa lesson natin ngayon ay, as you can see, of course, it's nutrition and fitness. Now, of course, we need to understand that since our topic is about physical fitness, it's not, when we say fitness, it's not just about, doing exercise or workout, If you want to really improve your health, hindi lang sapat or hindi lang pag-workout yung kailangan natin gawin. If we really want to improve yung overall health natin, madaming mga aspect na kailangan din nating ma-improve, and kasama din dito yung kinakain natin. So we're going to talk about, of course, in this lesson, as you can see, the things all about the food that we consume and how it affects our yung improvement, or how we can improve our physical fitness. Now, before we proceed and discuss this lesson, let's define what is nutrition. Ayan. Sabi dito, it's the process of providing or obtaining the food necessary for health and growth. Nutrition particularly refers to the science of food and how the body uses and maximizes its purpose in health and disease. So, of course, when we say nutrition, it's something that we get from the food that we consume or we eat. Diba? Doon natin nakukuha itong nutrition na tinatawag natin. And when we say nutrition, it comes in different forms, like vitamins and minerals and all the things that our body maximizes or use in different, of course, function that are purposes. Madalas, ginagamit natin yung nabanggit na dito to, of course, strengthen our health, improve our health, to fight diseases or infection, to, of course, to improve, para mag-grow tayo, development ng katawan ng isang tao, di ba? To strengthen as a form of energy. So, madaming form, kumbaga, na nanggagaling sa kinakain natin. So, doon natin nakukuha yung nutrition or nutrients na doon sa mga, of course, nakukonsume natin, kumbaga, ng mga pagkain. But it's also important to remember, sabi nga dito, that food, of course, can keep the body strong. Yung nasabi nga natin kanina na that's the main purpose of food, right? That it's actually good, dahil yun yung pinagkukuhanan natin ng lakas, kumbaga. But it's also important to remember that it also, parang nagiging reason din siya para magkasakit din yung isang tao. Sabi nga, of course, it can keep our body strong in as much as it can also be the cause of your diseases. So, pwedeng ito din yung reason bakit tayo nagkakasakit, di ba? Or yung family natin is because not just the food that we eat, yung kung anong klase yung kinakain natin, kundi kasama din dyan yung mga food choices natin, even yung amount ng pagkain natin also affects our health. So, we can say that either food will help improve our health, yung individually tayo, para hindi tayo nagkakasakit or mas strengthen tayo, or either ang pagkain din ang reason kung bakit tayo nagkakasakit. It depends on how we consume, on how we choose the food that, or of course, the food that we buy, prepare our meal, mga ganon. So, pwedeng it's our friend, di ba? Or pwedeng yun din yung kaaway natin. So, we need to remember, in this lesson, we're going to talk about, making right choice or decision when it comes to not just in of course, consuming, but even yung preparation natin, ng mga kinakain natin. So, sabi nga dito, choosing the right food and fluids every single day could actually determine your stature for a healthy and good quality of life. So, doon iikot yung lesson natin so that we can, have wider perspective or choices or, of course, understanding sa mga pagkain na madalas nakukonsume natin. If it's really helping ba, ma-improve yung health natin or hindi. Lalong-lalo na sa mga nagpe-prepare ng mga pagkain sa bahay. Malaking role natin. Syempre tayo yung namimili, kumbaga. We don't want to serve food that, will affect negatively sa family natin, especially if our family will consume it, of course. We want food that will really boost their strength or our strength or yung health natin, right? So now, why do we need to monitor our food choices ba? Why do we have to monitor food choices? So sabi dito, of course, the answer is very simple. You always have to constantly monitor your food choices to maximize your fitness goal and protect us against many forms of diseases. So like what I said, when it comes to physical fitness, or if you really want your overall yung health natin, improvement ng strength natin, ganyan, hindi pwedeng hiwalay yung pagkain. Laging kasama yan. If you're disciplined when it comes to working out or exercise, and of course, it's important to parang may disiplina din tayo sa kinakain natin. And second, of course, like what I said earlier, it helps us to of course, it protects us against many forms of diseases. Like what I said, hindi naman entirely generally ang pagkain ay nakakasama sa atin. Basically, good naman talaga ang purpose ng pagkain. Ang nanging problema lang ay tayo mismo, yung mga pagpili natin and even yung amount, no, yung pag-control natin sa kinakain natin. That's the reason bakit tayo nagkakasakit. But overall, food has many nutrients na nakakatulong, di ba, ma-improve din yung health natin and to fight diseases, kumbaga. Ayan. So that's the reason why we, monitor our food choices, no? Ayan. So when it comes to, like what I said, it's making food or right choices or good choices. Now let's talk about, let's proceed naman dun sa tinatawag natin, like our main topic. Let's talk about food. Ayan. Ano nga ba yung mga basic food group na pag-uusapan natin ngayon? So under basic food groups, we have, ayan, tatlo, no? We have macro, micro, and fibers. Okay, so let's start with the first basic food group, which is macronutrients. So under ng macronutrients, meron tayong proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. So pag sinabi nating macronutrients, ano ba yung tinutukoy nating mga pagkain? Or ano ba yung tinutukoy dito na mga, kumbaga, ano ba yung natutulong, di ba? Ano po-provide ng mga pagkain under nitong macronutrients group na tinatawag natin. So sabi dito, these are all direct sources of energy that our body can absorb and use for several internal processes like sa pag-transport ng blood, organ system function, at para din mag-function yung katawan natin ng maayos. Kumbaga makakilos tayo, makagalaw tayo, makapagtrabaho tayo. So basically, ang pinanggagalingan ng energy ng katawan natin or fuel ay galing sa mga pagkain na to, no? Coming from protein, fats, and carbohydrates. But without this macronutrients, manghihina yung katawan natin. So let's use an example, parang sa isang sasakyan lang yan, di ba? Kapag walang fuel, walang gasolina ng isang sasakyan, of course, we cannot expect na aandar siya, no? Manghihina yung isang sasakyan o hindi siya makakakilos ng maayos kung wala siyang source ng energy. So, ganoon din yung katawan natin. Without this macronutrients, no, na tinatawag natin, or mga pagkain ng group na ito, walang energy, no? Wala tayong pagkukuhanan ng lakas, kumbaga. And that's the reason bakit kapag nalilipasan tayo ng gutom, ganyan, ay nanghihina yung katawan natin, no? So that's a warning, kumbaga, signal that hindi tayo kumain. Walang energy yung katawan natin at walang nabuburn, kumbaga, na fuel yung body natin na magagamit niya to sustain or to, kumbaga, to provide energy sa mga functions ng katawan natin, either internally or, of course, externally. So that is what we mean by macronutrients. Now, like what I said, meron tayong tatlo, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Now, let's start with proteins. So, under ng proteins, ayan, we all know, of course, when we say protein, we're talking about meat. But it's not actually just meat, no? Under ng protein, meron tayong dalawang type. We have complete protein and incomplete protein. So when we say complete proteins, these are type of protein that contains all of the essential amino acids that we need sa tissues ng body natin, of course. So we need these amino acids or essential amino acids at nanggagaling yun sa complete protein o mga complete protein na pagkain. At ano ba yung mga complete proteins na mga food sources na ito? So, dyan papasok yung mga animal product or produce, no, na ayan, like fish, pork, beef, poultry, and eggs. So sila yung source natin ng essential or yung mataas na yung nagko-contain or level ng amino acids. Now, when we say incomplete naman, so it's not like when we're talking, if we're talking about protein, it's not just about meat, no? Meron ding protein actually, even ang mga plant sources. So tinatawag naman natin itong incomplete protein. But unlike complete na mataas yung level ng amino acids, dito ay konti lang, no? Low traces or little traces lang ng essential amino acids yung makukuha natin. Pero meron pa ring protein, no? Example natin dyan like spinach, broccoli, nuts, and grains are just few examples of tawag ng incomplete proteins naman, yung nagko-contain ng incomplete proteins. Okay, so take note of that, the difference of complete and incomplete protein. Now, how about fats? So you need to remember, when it comes to fats, madami din siyang function sa body natin. So sometimes we think about fat, when we think about fat, we think about it negatively, right? But of course, since part ito ng macronutrients, ibig sabihin napakalaki ng role ng fats sa body natin. So sabi nga dito, babanggitin na babasahin natin ilan sa mga functions ng fats sa body natin. Fats are also known as lipids, no? And not only are they used for energy, but they serve as a good insulator of the body. They provide support and cushion for the organs, protecting it from trauma and other forms of danger. Some forms of fats are even carriers of vitamins A, D, E, and K. And that's why too little of it is not good sign of health, but also too much of it can bring many different diseases. So we need to remember na napakadami ng function ng fats. So just nabanggit na dito, insulator siya, nagpo-provide siya ng support sa body natin. At the same time, nagkikarry din pala siya ng vitamins, no? Which is mamaya ma-emphasize pa natin yan. At maliban pa doon, syempre, source din natin siya ng energy, sabi nga dito. So, napakalaki ng function ng fats, kaya importante din na yung kinakain din natin ay meron pa ring fats. Right? But of course, we need to remember what type of fat ba at gaano ba kadami. Syempre, we need to also remember, nabanggit nga dito that too little of it, hindi din naman okay. No? Konti lang naman yung consume natin kasi kailangan pa rin natin ng enough na fats. But at the same time, we need to also take note that too much of it, yung sobra-sobra naman na fat, ay hindi din maganda sa kalusugan natin. So, what we're aiming is a balance, kumbaga, yung pag-consume ng pagkain. Okay, so now let's proceed to the different types of fat para magkaroon tayo ng, of course, awareness, ano nga ba yung mga pagkain natin na nagko-contain ng mga different fats na ito. So we actually have three. We have saturated, we have unsaturated, and hydrogenated, or what we call trans fatty acids. So when we say saturated fats, ayan, saturated fats are either processed and are directly included as ingredients in many forms of food, particularly baked, yan, mga baked or churned food. Example natin ng ano ba yung mga pagkain na nagko-contain ng high saturated fat. Yung butter, whole milk, cheese, ice cream, palm, and coconut oils that are found in baked products, mga yan, like cakes and cookies, yan yung mga nagko-contain ng mataas na saturated fat. No? Pag mataas naman ngayon yung saturated fat sa body natin, too much or excess na siya sa body natin, that will lead us na magkaroon tayo ng risk, no, or prone tayo ngayon sa mga cardiovascular diseases like cancer, obesity, at marami pang mga sakit na related sa pagkakaroon ng mataas na or level ng saturated fat, kumbaga cholesterol, mga ganyan, no, sa body natin. So it's not good din na mag-consume ng, since unhealthy din to mga pagkain na to. But again, we can still consume. Pwede pa rin naman tayong kumain ng mga ganito. But what we need to remember is the amount of food that we consume. Gaano ba kadami, no, yung kinukonsume natin to the point na hindi na siya nabuburn, then that will be a problem. So kailangan tong minomonitor din natin yung pag-consume ng mga pagkain na nabanggit niya na nagko-contain ng mataas or na level ng saturated fat. Now, the second is we have unsaturated fats. This type of fats are characterized as being liquid and room temperature and primarily found in vegetables and seafood. Unlike saturated fats, unsaturated fats are accumulated in the body will less likely cause or contribute to health-related diseases like CV diseases, cancer, obesity, at mga iba pang mga sakit, no? Kumaga, tinatawag natin to ang unsaturated fat as good fats, no? At madami reason dyan mamaya masasabi na ma-explain natin. Because una-una, if we're going to consume this type of fat na nanggagaling sa vegetable at seafood, actually madaming benefit din ito. Kaya unlike yung saturated fat, pag nag-consume ka ng mga unsaturated fat, matataas na pagkain, mga pagkain na merong mataas na saturated fat rather, nagli-lead yun na pwedeng magkaroon tayo ng mga cardiovascular diseases, no? Health-related diseases dahil unhealthy nga yung mga fats na yun. But here, no, when we say unsaturated fat, because of the benefit that we also get from these fats, naiiwasan pa actually. So that's why it's considered as good fats nga. Now let's talk about the two types of unsaturated fat. Yan. Meron tayong polyunsaturated at monounsaturated fats. So polyunsaturated fats are primarily derived from nuts, seeds, green leafy vegetables, and seafood. They're usually high in omega fatty acids that help reduce the risk of cardiovascular diseases. Ayan. So if you're familiar with omega-3 and omega-6, mga iba't ibang type of omega fatty acids, that's actually good for our heart. Right? Kung encounter nyo na yun sa mga commercials. So that's the benefit that we get or nutrients that we get that comes from this polyunsaturated fats. No? It reduces, sabi nga dito, the risk of cardiovascular diseases kasi healthy siya sa heart natin. Nai-improve niya yung cardiovascular system natin. So that is polyunsaturated. When we say monounsaturated naman, like red meat, seafood, whole meat products, nuts, and high-fat fruits like avocados and olives. Sila naman, ito naman yung nagko-contain ng mataas na monounsaturated fats, which is actually helpful para mapababa yung bad cholesterol level sa katawan natin. Okay, so we need this type of fat, yung monounsaturated fat, para ma-lower down yung bad cholesterol. We all know that bad cholesterol is not good sa health natin. So we need to lower that down kasi hindi natin yan kailangan, no? It will cause a lot of health problems because of this bad cholesterol. So with the help of monounsaturated fat, nalo-lower down itong mga bad cholesterol sa katawan natin. Okay? Kaya nga kino-consider to na good fats. Ayan. And the last is we have hydrogenated or trans fatty acids. These are fats that results when hydrogen is added to liquid oil or to make it more solid. This process is known as hydrogenation. Now, hydrogenation transforms unsaturated fats, so they take on characteristic of saturated fats. So, ilan sa mga kilala, no, mga madalas na under ng trans fatty acids na mga pagkain, nagko-contain ng mataas na trans fatty acids ay yung mga processed na food, yung mga dumaan sa sobrang madaming kumbaga process, no? Example natin dyan ay chips, french fries, chicken nuggets, chocolates, hot dogs, sodas, beers, mga yan, madami pang mga processed na food, no? At hindi lang mataas yung level ng trans fatty acids, even yung sugar, yung level ng sugar at salt ay sobrang taas din. Kaya hindi lang problem natin dito ay yung level ng unhealthy na fat or trans fatty acids. Even the level of sugar and salt, no, ay unhealthy na. Then that of course, it will cause harm din sa kidney natin or sa blood sugar, no, level ng body natin. So that's also unhealthy. Kaya, yeah, it's important to take note or maging aware tayo. Ano ba yung mga fat na nakukuha natin sa mga iba't mga pagkain na kinukonsume natin? Dahil hindi lahat ng pagkain ay same ng nutrients na level at hindi lahat ng pagkain ay healthy din. No? So, we really need to monitor, not of course just fat, even other, like what I discussed kayo yung protein din. Ayan. Now, that is fat. Now, let's proceed to the last macronutrient, which is carbohydrates. So dito sa tatlong macronutrients natin, ang carbohydrates actually ang pinakaunang binaburn ng katawan natin as a source of energy. No? During movement, sabi nga dito, this is the first form of energy readily used up and burned by the body to support several organ system processes. Now, carbohydrates are particularly needed by blood cells. Without this type of nutrient, cells will not be able to function effectively and efficiently. Ano ba yung mga pagkain na under ng carbohydrates? Of course, we already know, like rice, rice, bread, pasta, mga yan, corns, grains, and other seeds. Madalas mga root crop actually, no? Yun sila yung matataas sa carbohydrates or carbs na tinatawag natin. And ito nga, ito yung unang binaburn ng body natin as a source of energy because actually carbs is a type of, pag na breakdown na siya ng body natin, nagiging sugar siya. In other terms, kapag naging sugar na siya, naging na-breakdown na siya, kumbaga, tinatawag na natin siya ngayon na glucose. Okay? So yun ngayon, yung glucose na yun or simple sugar na yun, yun yung ginagamit ng katawan natin as a source of energy. Diba? So that's how our body functions. Ito yung unang binaburn natin. But of course, lahat naman sila ay pinagkukuhanan natin ng energy. Kung hindi available ang carbohydrates or konti na lang, syempre lilipat ngayon yung body natin ng another source. Like pupunta yung maghahanap yan sa fats or proteins. Okay? So that's why it's important to consume yung balance na pagkain na merong carbohydrates, fats, and protein para meron tayong source ng energy. Without this macronutrients, manghihina yung katawan natin. Okay? Hindi makakapag-function ng maayos. Ayan. So please take note of that. Now, after macro, we also have micronutrients. Now, papasok naman dito sa micronutrients yung vitamins at minerals naman. No? Unlike macronutrients that are highly needed natin as a source of energy, no, energy production, para makapag-function ng maayos ang body natin, we need macronutrients. But micronutrients naman, ay hindi naman natin kailangan ng sobra-sobra. Kasi kapag macro, di ba, ilang beses ba tayo kumakain sa isang araw? Diba? 3, no? May merienda pa. But when it comes to micro, we don't actually eat 3 times a day ng mga vitamins at minerals, diba? Sometimes just one, kumbaga, isang amount lang or minimal or small amount lang. So, ganun talaga yung pag-consume natin ng micronutrients. Minuscule amount lang. So, we will explain later bakit hindi ganun kadami, unlike yung macro. No? So, let's start with the first type of micronutrients, which is vitamins. So, of course, yung mga kinakain natin like fruits, vegetables, and other kumbaga, type of food that we consume. Doon natin nakukuha yung mga vitamins, no? Na-absorb ng body natin. And our body actually doesn't require too much of vitamins, kumbaga. We only need small amounts, no? And we need to remember that ang vitamins ay, I think we all know naman, ay may iba-ibang type ng vitamins, no? Different kind. We actually have 13 different kinds of vitamins and they have different, kumbaga, ways or purpose or function sa body natin. And like what I said, vitamins, no, unlike macronutrients, it doesn't give us energy. This is not our source of energy, no, or fuel. Kaya kahit mag-consume ka ng vitamins, gutom ka pa rin. Kasi hindi yun yung role ng vitamins, even yung minerals din naman, hindi naman din yung role nun. But, even though hindi siya yung source ng energy natin, nakakatulong ang vitamins para mas ma-produce yung energy na nanggagaling dun sa macronutrients. Kumbaga, it serves as a support, no? They are mostly responsible, sabi nga dito, these things are the vitamins or are vitamins that we consume, provide no direct energy, but they are mostly responsible in unleashing the stored energy in carbohydrates, fats, proteins when they break down through the process of digestion. So nakakatulong siya para yung mga stored energy na nanggagaling kay carbohydrates, fats, and protein, ma-unleash na or ma-release niya. No? So, kumbaga, like what I said, kumbaga parang support siya. So, hindi siya yung source ng energy, hindi siya yung source na direct energy natin, pero nakakatulong siya para yung energy na nanggagaling sa macronutrients ay magamit talaga natin or ng body natin. No? So, another example of function of vitamins is how it helps, no, fight or strengthen our immune system. So, we actually have what we call free radicals, no? So ano ba yung free radicals na ito? They're actually unstable atoms that can damage cells, causing illness and aging. So free radical attacks healthy cells occurring through series of chain reactions that can contribute to cell damage and its proper functioning. So as you can see in this image, ayan, ito yung free radical, nabanggit nga dito, unstable atom siya kasi kulang siya ng electron, no? Meron siyang unpaired electron. Ang mangyayari dito dahil unstable siya, maghahanap ngayon to ng another atom na pagkukuhanan niya ng electron. So ano ba yung another atom na pwede niyang pagkuhanan ng electron? Siyempre, yung mga healthy na cells natin, which is, it will cause a chain reaction kasi pag kinuha niya yung healthy cells ng mga ibang yung ibang electron ng ibang cells natin, masisira ngayon yung mga cells na yon, right? Kasi inaagawan sila ng electron. So, of course, it will cause damage, magkakaroon ng improper na pag-function yung mga cells natin, and that's not good, right? Ngayon, dito papasok yung role ng antioxidant. Ayan. But before that, saan ba natin nakukuha tong free radicals na ito? Actually, natural siya na nangyayari sa body natin because of many reasons din. And minsan, natural din naman ng reason. But our body is actually prepared para harap or mawala tong mga free radical, or of course, it won't affect kumbaga, sobra-sobra yung body natin. But of course, kailangan pa rin nating bantayan to. It doesn't mean na kahit natural siya, hayaan na lang natin. May mga ilang actually trigger or factor na nagpapadami or nagpapabilis ng production ng free radical, which is a problem, right? So ano ba yung mga madalas lifestyle na ginagawa natin that accelerates, or the factors that can accelerate yung production ng free radical? Yan yung pag-expose natin sa mga chemicals, toxic chemicals like pesticides, pollution sa paligid natin, smoking, alcohol, and fried foods. Ilan yun sa nagtitrigger. No? So, kailangan din natin iwasan yung mga yan. Again, it's still natural nga yung free radical. So, ano yung purpose ngayon ng vitamins? Ayan. So, dun nga papasok yung tinatawag natin na antioxidants. Ayan. Antioxidants are molecules which can safely react with free radicals. So, what they do is that they terminate the chain reaction of free radicals before vital molecules are damaged. If your body lacks the enough vitamins it needs on a daily basis, antioxidants can be released with your system or within your system, exposing your body to many forms of infections and diseases. So, like what you see here, no, yung antioxidants, siya yung nagbibigay ng, of course, nagbabalance. Tina-terminate niya yung chain reaction para hindi before pa masira or makasira itong free radical ng ibang healthy molecules or vital molecule or healthy atoms, no. So, binabalance niya tong free radical na to para it won't affect na yung ibang mga healthy atoms natin. At syempre, hindi natin makukuha tong antioxidants na to, hindi siya ma-release without vitamins kasi doon siya napoproduce or nare-release sa body natin. No? So, this is just another example of another purpose or functions of vitamins. Kaya nga, even though, let's say, even though we're just consuming a small amount, no? Ilang beses pa tayo minum ng vitamins sa isang araw, di ba? Isa lang naman, kung depende pa kung anong vitamins yun. So, we don't need a lot of vitamins, but even though kahit small lang yung amount na nakokonsume natin, napakalaki na ng kumbaga, purpose nun, no? Iba-iba din purpose din ng vitamins sa body natin. So, isa nga dito yung pag-improve ng immune system. Ayan. Now, I have another type of micronutrients after vitamin is minerals. Now, minerals come from the soil. Ayan. These are compounds that get absorbed by plants and animals that ends up on our plate and in turn get absorbed by our body. So, katulad din ng vitamins, we also need small amount lang, very small amount lang din ng minerals. This is because their only role is to interact with other vitamins to perform the work that they're supposed to do within the body. So, yun nga, hindi naman natin kailangan talaga nagpo-consume ng sobrang minerals, no? Madalas nakukuha lang din natin ito sa mga kinakain natin. So, yun, minsan may gamot din, di ba, that really grieves pag kulang na hindi na enough yung minerals. But again, we don't consume too much din na minerals sa body natin, no? Pero yun nga, we only need small amount kasi ang role nga ng minerals ay nag-i-interact lang siya. Kumbaga, patulad ng vitamin, support lang din sila sa body natin. No? So, example dito ay yung, ito nga, sabi, an example of this is a balance of calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, zinc, fluoride, chloride, manganese, copper, and sulfur. When joined together with vitamin D, mineral and vitamins become very essential to your, very essential for the health of your bones. Ayan. So, yun naman yung how they interact, yung mineral at vitamins. So, yun yung ginagawa ng mineral, nag-i-interact siya with vitamins para ma-strengthen yung health natin. Or specifically in this example, na meron tayo yung vitamin or yung minerals nag-interact siya sa, siguro yung calcium, ay sabihin natin na nag-interact siya sa vitamin D para ma-strengthen yung bones natin, no? Kung babalikan natin yung previous lesson natin, I think that is musculoskeletal system, nabanggit natin to, di ba? If you remember bone density loss, no? Yung condition kung saan kulang yung calcium at vitamins or vitamin D, to be specific, sa bones natin, kaya nagkakaroon ng panghihina, no? Bone density loss, no? Nanghihina yung bones natin, nagiging brittle siya. So we need, of course, minerals din sa mga kinakain natin. So another essential minerals in the body are sodium, potassium, iodine, iron, selenium, and zinc. Ayan. Katulad din ng vitamins, iba-iba din yung mga minerals or types or kinds of minerals na available, na need din ng katawan natin. Yung nabanggit nga yung iron, no? Yung dugo natin actually contains iron. So, kailangan din natin yan para hindi maiwasan natin yung pagkakaroon ng anemia or yung nagiging anemic ng isang tao dahil kulang yung iron sa blood niya. Okay, so yan yung ating micronutrients. So, we only need small amount, but that small amount of micronutrients is actually it will really improve yung health natin. No? So we really need to choose food na meron ding vitamins at minerals. Now, last is we have fiber. So simple lang naman tong fiber. Fibers are indigestible substances found in food. Usually, it comes from plant sources. They're specialized type of nutrient that are very essential for digestion. They serve as cleansers of the intestinal tract because they aid in the passage and absorption of food in the body. So, hindi siya totally natutunaw, kumbaga, or nadadigest ng body natin. Kasi ang purpose ng fiber ay para linisin yung digestive system natin or yung daanan ng pagkain. No? If there are things na nakain natin na hindi na talagang labas ng katawan natin or ng digestive system natin o ng stomach natin. So, yun yung gagawin ng fiber, yung dadaanan niya na tract, no, ay malilinis niya para ma-push lahat ng mga, let's say, unhealthy foods no nakain natin para totally hindi magkaroon ng problem yung digestive system natin. So example natin diyan like saging, apple, ayan, chia seeds, no, yan yung matataas sa fiber. No, lalo na yung may mga madalas may problem sa tiyan, sumasakit yung tiyan, so maybe we have like we just need to clean yung stomach natin or yung daanan ng pagkain natin sa intestinal tract yan tinatawag natin or passages para totally what we eat ay talagang safe at madali siyang napoprocess ng stomach natin. Ayan, so that is fiber. Now, like what I said, we need to make right decision or good choices kumbaga when it comes to food. Okay? So, may mga pagkain na kailangan i-add talaga natin sa meal natin. May mga pagkain na pwede pa rin namang i-add pero delikado kapag nasosobrahan yung pag-consume. So, we need to monitor the food that we eat. Okay? So, now, let's move to fluids. We all know that food is really important. How about fluids? So, we're going to talk about the different examples lang, few examples of drinks or fluid na madalas na kinokonsume din natin and how it affects our health or fitness. Let's start with the most basic, which is water. Now, water contains no calories, provides no energy, and provides no key nutrients to the body. Yet, ang water ay napaka-importante no, sa health at survival natin. Hindi tayo makakasurvive kapag walang tubig. No? Siguro, kahit na walang pagkain ng isang linggo, kaya pa. Pero kapag yung tubig, no, hindi kaya ng katawan natin. This is because our body is composed of 60% of water and the lack of it could affect how our organs appropriately work and function. Without water, processes like digestion, food absorption, and chemical reactions within the body will not be possible. So, ganun kalaki yung role ng water. Kaya nga, kailangan pa rin nating uminom no, ng sapat na tubig, kumbaga, para sa katawan natin, para makapag-function ng maayos. So, that is water. Very basic. Wala kang nutrients actually na makukuha dyan or even calories, pero it helps, no, it supports our body and how it functions. Now, another example of fluid is energy drink and sports drink. So, ano bang pinagkaiba nila dito? Ang energy drink actually, para siyang soft drinks din, na napakataas ng sugar at merong caffeine and other ingredients din. Now, since mataas ang sugar niya at caffeine, actually, ang purpose naman ng energy drink ay para magising ka, no? Yung isip mo, yung katawan mo, ma-energize ka. So, that's the reason bakit mataas din yung caffeine or sugar level ng energy drink. But since yun nga yung level, yun yung ingredient niya, it's unhealthy for going to consume this type of drink or fluid regularly, no? Or pag yung pag-consume mo ay hindi mo na nababantayan, it can cause a lot of, it can lead to different kind of health problem, no? Madalas ma-encounter mo dyan yung heartbeat, irregular heartbeat, insomnia, and other, paranoia, and all other problem pa na pwedeng ma-encounter if we're going to use this or drink this fluid, no? Continuously na unhealthy na, kumbaga. So that is energy drink. Ayan. How about sports drink? So when it comes to sports drink, ito naman yung syempre design naman to for the athlete, no? We need to remember that when it comes to sweating or yung pag naglalaro ka, di ba, which is normal naman na nagpapawis tayo, syempre nagre-release ang katawan natin ng tubig. Nanggagaling syempre sa pawis na yun. At actually, hindi lang tubig yung nare-release ng body natin, even nutrients. At napaka-importante nun, syempre sa mga athlete. So we don't want, no, na mawala yung mga nutrients, lalong-lalo na sa mga competition, kailangan ng tao ng water at the same time yung nutrition sa body niya. So, doon ngayon papasok yung purpose or yung bakit dinesign tong sports drink na to. Dahil it helps, sabi nga dito, sports drinks replenish not only water na nawala, even yung nutrition din or nutrients na nawala sa pagpapawis or pag nagpawis yung isang tao, napapalitan niya. Okay? That's why yun nga, pinopromote din to, di ba, sa mga competition kasi it really helps or ma-aid yung mga problem sa body ng isang tao, lalo na sa mga athlete. Okay? So, yan yung difference ng energy drink and sports drink. Now, how about coffee and tea? So, ito medyo malapit-lapit sa atin. Actually, parehas silang may caffeine, pero mas lesser lang yung level ng caffeine sa tea. That's why there are most of, siguro yung us, I prefer yung tea kasi hindi ganoon kataas yung level ng caffeine. But again, meron pa rin silang caffeine, no? And coffee, it is actually a stimulant. Kumbaga, nagigising yung isip mo, di ba? Kapag nagkakape ka, pero yung tea actually is nakaka-relax naman siya ng mind, ng body, ganyan. So, but it depends, no, kung ano naman yung iinumin natin or yung prefer natin. Pero parehas sila na nagko-contain ng caffeine. So, when it comes to caffeine, hindi din maganda yung too much na caffeine sa sistema ng katawan natin. So, we also need to monitor yan. Kasi too much consumption ng caffeine, it can cause irregular heartbeat, no? Nagpapalpitate ka na pag nasosobrahan ka na ng caffeine. And then, aside from this, even yung sa bloodstream natin, magli-lead ng blood pressure, no? Problem sa blood pressure ng isang tao. Kaya unhealthy din siya. So, ang sabi dito, the only limited or yung only limited serving ng caffeine sa isang araw ay 3 cups lang. Okay? Yung sa sobra dyan, it can lead to, yun nga, problem sa body natin. Okay? So, we also need to monitor this kahit na madalas ay we love drinking coffee, no? We also need to monitor kahit na, yun nga, it's not good din na too much yung caffeine yung nako-consume natin. Now remember, so hindi lang sa pagkain pala, no, even sa fluid na kinokonsume natin ay kailangan din pala nating monitor. Okay? So that is fluid. At madami pa naman yan, hindi lang ito yung example natin. Of course, that's use, no, yung matututunan natin ngayon in checking the drinks and the food that we consume. Now, let's move to exercise timing naman. Napaka-importante din ito na may proper time tayo kung kailan tayo mag-exercise. Lalong-lalo na after natin kumain. No? Kailan ba tayo, nag-start ba tayo agad? After kumain, mag-start ka na ba agad mag-exercise? No? So of course, hindi naman tayo agad-agad nag-start mag-exercise. Kasi may tinatawag tayong blood shunting. Ayan. So blood shunting na ito, ay ito yung situation kung saan yung flow ng blood, no, ay nagda-direct siya or diverted or nagpo-focus siya sa digestive system natin after kumain. Okay? So after mong kumain, itong brain mo magsisend siya ng signal, okay, magpo-focus ka ngayon na magpadala ng blood or yung flow ng blood dito sa digestive system natin para mapabilis yung pag-digest ng food. So, ibig sabihin, yung insert in other parts of our body, hindi ganun kaano yung flow ng blood, no? Kaya, hindi advisable na kapag ganun, kakatapos natin kumain, ay nag-exercise na tayo agad kahit naglalakad-lakad, no? Maganda nagpapahinga ka muna, hindi yung binibigla natin yung katawan natin. Because it can cause problem or discomfort kapag magsa-start na tayo agad mag-exercise. So, we need to give enough time para ma-digest muna yung kinain natin. So, mga 1 hour to 2 hours yung given on ideal time kapag nag-heavy meal ka. Okay, you need to give at least 1 hour to 2 hours para truly perfectly or enough or precisely talaga na ma-digest yung kinain natin, no? Hindi siya magiging magkakos ng discomfort. Now, syempre kung di naman practical yung maghintay ka ng 1 hour to 2 hours, syempre medyo matagal din naman yun. Another alternative is pwede naman tayong kumain ng light meals. So we can actually try this like energy bar, yogurt, mga ganyan, fruit shake, or other drinks, no, sandwiches. So pwede to, since mas mabilis siyang matunaw or ma-digest. But bottom line, okay, we need to give enough time sa body natin before tayo mag-exercise or mag-workout. Any activities. Kung hindi handa and hindi lang chan natin, of course, even other parts of our body, of course, that is something na kailangan din nating bantayan. Okay? Now, and this is the last part actually. Now, we also need to understand, since our topic about is about making good choices, no, right choices. Now, when it comes to choices, syempre binibili din natin yan sa mga grocery store, which is nakapackage na, di ba? It's good to understand it or maging we're able to really understand food label, kahit yung basic lang. So, when it comes to food label, ano ba to? No? Ito yung nagpo-provide sa atin ng mga consumers ng detailed information kung ano man yung nilalaman ng pagkain na binili natin. Okay? So, when it comes to their ingredients, specification, yung percentage ng carbohydrates, protein, malalaman mo dyan kung ilan. No? So, let's use an example para mas maintindihan natin yung food label. Ayan. So, when you say serving size, yung nakakita niyo sa number 1, ayan. This gives you the ideal total size and number of servings in a container that you're supposed to consume. So, dito, let's say, bumili ako ng, siguro, let's say this is a bag of isang plastic ng chips, no? So, ibig sabihin, dun sa chips na yun, meron siyang 8 na piraso or let's say, tinapay. May 8 na piraso ng tinapay doon. So, yun yung serving dun sa container or dun sa binili kong pagkain. Okay? Yun yung ibig sabihin ng serving size. Now, when we say amount per serving naman, yun naman yung calories per serving. Ilan yung, sa isang serving, nakakainin ko, ilan yung calories na makukuha ko. So, meron ako makukuhang 230 calories or 230 calories. Okay? By the way, we need to remember na meron tayong normal, kumbaga, or ideal na calories, kung gaano kadaming calories lang ang kailangan ng katawan natin or kailangan natin makonsume sa isang araw. So the ideal or recommended daily value of calories that we need to consume every day is, ideal lang to ha, ay nasa 1,500 to 2,500. So anything na sobra ng hihigit pa doon ay magpo-cause ng problem sa health natin. No? Lalo na kung hindi natin nabuburn yung calories na yon. At the same time, pag kulang naman yung calories, kasi parang di man umabot na 1,500 or 2,500, it can lead to malnutrition. Okay? So, there are people who actually count calories, no? Nagbibilang sila ng calories sa mga kinakain nila. But of course, it takes a lot of patience and the dedication and commitment if you really want to do that. But you can actually estimate naman kahit di ka naman totally magbilang. So the good thing about food label is naka-indicate na, nakalagay na kung ilan yung calories ng pagkain yon. So if you're going to compute, pwede mo na siyang ma-compute. For example, ito, kung kakain ka ng 2 piraso ng chips or tinapay, if you're going to compute that, 230 times 2, or which is 2 serving, is actually 460 calories. So, ibig sabihin, naka 460 ka na, naka 2 piraso ka lang ng tinapay or chips, sabihin natin. Ayan. And let's say, yung 230, yung 460 na calories na yon, hindi man ganun ka nutritious or wala man masyadong nutrients, no? Kung chichirya yun, napakataas na niya. Ayan. So, kung let's say, naubos mo tong 8 pieces or serving sa isang container, let's say, chichiriato or chips to, of course, ilan na yun? Nasa 1,800 plus, right? Which is too much, no? Hindi ka pa nagkakanin, hindi ka pa kumakain ng ulam. Higit ka na sa 1.5, no? Which is konti na lang, so sobra ka na sa yung normal lang na calories na kailangan natin sa isang araw. So again, this is a good example na there are food na sobrang taas ng energy or calories na tinatawag natin, na kahit sobrang taas ng calorie ay hindi naman ganun ka-nutritious. Okay? So it's good to remember that there are food na mas mababa yung calories pero mas healthy. And kaya maganda din, tinatingnan din natin yung ibang mga ingredients or content ng pagkain. Example, ito, itong 230 na to, meron siyang total fat, medyo mataas nga lang yung total fat, nasa 8 grams. Meron din naman siyang sodium, ayan, carbohydrates, protein, vitamins, meron din naman siya. Pero again, it's important to check also yung percentage ng mga to kasi minsan baka sobrang taas pala ng sugar. Which is ito, nasa 12 grams na yung sugar niya, yung level ng sugar. Kung iniiwasan mo yung medyo madaming sugar, syempre, ipiliin mo yung hindi ganun kataas, no? Or iniiwasan mo yung medyo mataas yung fat, you can look for other food na mas mababa yung fat. So, ganun lang yung pagtingin na, yung how we check food labels. Okay? Now, let's use an example para mas maintindihan natin yung pag-check natin ng food label. Let's say we are looking for a specific type, no, ng pagkain, or let's say food na ako, for example, maghahanap ako ng drinks, no, na mababa or fat-free, let's say, yun na lang. Fat-free yung pagkain na yun or inumin na yun. So you can actually see that, no, dun din sa food label, may mga ilan nakalagay na talaga yung fat-free, minsan sa harap na mismo ng label or packaging, may fat-free na nakalagay or kung ano man yung hinahanap mo, naka-indicate na dun. But again, I would advise that it's also better to also check the food label just to make sure if it's really nagre-reflect ba talaga siya. So in this case, fat-free, yung hinahanap ko, so nakalagay naman fat-free dito. Let's say nakita ko sa grocery store. And then, para malaman mo na fat-free talaga siya, kailangan both the total fat at saturated fat ay dapat 0 gram siya. No? So in this case naman, hindi ko alam kung magiging clear siya sa screen natin, medyo ano yung image, but parehas naman sila actually 0 gram. Okay? So, then maganda siya itong nakita ko na yung kumbaga hinahanap ko na product kasi ang hinahanap ko naman talaga specifically ay yung fat-free. Ibig sabihin kahit uminom pa ako ng uminom nitong drinks na to, wala akong makukonsume na fat. But it's also important to remember na makukonsume ko yung ibang mga ingredients niya like yung sodium, potassium, ayan, di naman sila nawala, di naman sila zero, no? So makakonsume ko yung mga yan, pero yung fat hindi naman. So, kung yun lang naman yung problema ko, then it's okay lang din naman to. Siguro kung sosobra lang yung ibang content niya, pag sobrang taas ng sugar, unhealthy din naman siya. So, I can siguro look for other product na mas mababa yung sugar, pero fat-free din naman. Pwede niyong gawin yun, no? But let's just say this is okay, no? Let's say binili ko na siya kasi yun lang naman hinahanap ko, fat-free. Yun lang, i-take note natin yun, no? Fat-free is both 0 yung total fat at saturated. Now, when we say low fat naman, is meron pa rin yung, of course, mababa nga lang yung fat na meron to mga product na to. So, ang consider lang na low fat ay kapag yung total fat niya ay 3 grams, no, at saturated fat niya ay nasa 1 gram. Hindi tataas. Okay? So, less than or lesser this, yung number ng or yung grams, yun yung considered na na low fat. Okay? So, anything na higher dyan, kasi nag 4 gram to, ay hindi na siya low fat. No, kahit pa sinasabi sa packaging na, ay low fat to, nakalagay. Nakita mo dun sa harap ng packaging. Pero pag tingin mo sa likod, ay hindi naman pala 3 grams, naka 4 na pala siya or 5, then again, that is not considered as low fat. No, we really need to check the label to make sure that it's really reflecting because there are, of course, it's just to make sure, no? And being a wise consumer then, na we really need to check if it's reflecting dun sa nakikita talaga natin because there are actually product na minsan hindi talaga nila nakikita, hindi nagre-reflect sa food label yung mga mga sinasabi, no? So, para maiwasan natin yung mga ganung situation, it's good to also check the food label. Okay? Since this will actually help in making good decision din sa mga pinipili nating product. no? Now, ayan, as a consumer or individually, no, now, syempre, hindi naman ibang tao magde-decide kung ano yung kakainin natin or anong i-prepare natin. It's still our decision individually, no? Kung ano yung kakainin natin, how we will prepare our meal. Now, it's our part, no? This lesson can be practical on your part on how you will check. Maybe you can also try checking the food label of ano yung mga available na pagkain sa bahay. That's just to, para mapag-practicean lang natin, or of course, awareness din natin kung kayo man yung namimili ng pagkain sa palengke, sa grocery store, anything, that we need to remember how important food is. No? So it's not just a source of energy, but it can, of course, help improve our health, or it can cause health problem. So it depends on how we make decision. But I hope that it will, help us in making good decision or right decision sa mga pagkain na kinukonsume natin or binibili natin. Okay? So again, this is nutrition and fitness under ng physical fitness na subject natin. I hope you learned a lot sa lesson or topic natin ngayon. So that's it. Thank you for listening on our discussion or lesson today.